Hey plant nerds, welcome back to my channel. 2018 has been such a good year. It's the year I discovered my love for houseplants, so today I thought I would go through my top 5 favorite houseplants of 2018 with you all. Alright guys, so without much further ado, number 5 on my favorite houseplants of 2018 is the variegated Ficus elastica. It's also referred to as the Ficus teneki. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I wasn't even gonna say it because I didn't know if it was right. I can spell it though, and it'll be right there. This guy was the first plant that I ordered off of eBay. Definitely the first plant of 2018 that I probably paid way too much money for. But I saw this guy at a local botanical garden and just fell in love with the shape, the color, the variegation of these leaves before I even knew what variegation was. The light that I have this ficus in is a northeast window. It likes bright indirect light, so it has a view of the sky all day long. This corner of my home points directly northeast, so the window here gets northwestern light and the two windows behind me get northeast light. Now, watering a ficus is usually when most issues arise with their health. Ficus do not like to sit in damp or moist soil for very long. They like their roots to get air, to dry out completely in between waterings. When I water this guy, I take my plant out of its decorative pot and I keep it in a nursery pot that has drainage at the bottom, which is very important. And I take it to the sink, I'll flood the pot and let water run through it, and then I'll stick it back in its pot and put it back in the window. So my number 4 favorite houseplant is the Stromanthe Triostar. Again, another variegated foliage plant, and that my cats clearly had a fun time chewing on. This plant is bouncing back. When I first brought this home, it was nice and full and lush, and then it kind of started dying back, as most plants do when they adjust to the differences and where they were before they came into your home. I have just tried to provide conditions for this plant that it enjoys, which is high humidity. Its soil, it likes to be consistently moist. I make sure it doesn't dry out too much. My tip for a Stromanthe or a Calathea or any of those plants is to not pot them in terracotta. I know terracotta is easy, and actually I have quite a few of them even shown behind me that are potted in terracotta. Terracotta will let air get in and it dries out the soil much quicker. They don't want to be soaking wet all the time, but they do like to have an evenly moist soil. I usually just keep them in a nursery pot and just put it in a decorative pot. The nursery pot's plastic, so it doesn't allow air to get in and dry it out as quickly as terracotta does. But that's not to say you can't plant it in terracotta pots. You most definitely can. You just may have to water more often than you would if you kept it in like a plastic nursery pot or put it in a decorative pot, just to make sure that it has drainage. My number 3 favorite houseplant of 2018 is the watermelon Peperomia. This plant is so unique. The silver that you can see in this leaves are the light colors that you'll see. When you get up close to it, it shimmers almost like there's glitter inside the leaf. This guy has grown so much since I first got it. They do like bright light. I have this guy in the same exact window as the ficus. Peperomias are a little like succulents and they store water in their leaves. You can tell their leaves are a little thicker. I know peperomias need water when I kind of pinch the leaf, and if it feels flimsy, I know that it's using the water that it's stored in its leaves and it needs more water. So my first runner-up for favorite houseplant of 2018 is the Ficus Audrey. You may have seen this plant in my houseplant haul video that I did a few weeks back, but I've decided it needs some more screen time. I just love these leaves and how they feel with their texture, that almost that velvet texture, and just how this plant looks. It's just such a cool houseplant. With the watering on the ficus, they do like to fully dry out. This is no different. It's still in the ficus family. Sometimes if you overwater your plants too much, you can always plant them in terracotta. I know with the Stromanthe, I said to not plant it in the terracotta. Again, you can do what you want. Terracotta does help air out that extra moisture, so if you frequently overwater your plants, a terracotta pot will definitely help soak up some of that water, evaporate it, but just be careful on how much you water these guys. So we've reached the end where I show you my favorite houseplant of 2018, and this guy's kind of a big guy. It is the Philodendron Xanadu. I don't know if you can see this whole plant in the shot, I don't know why I chose this as my favorite, but this is the plant I feel like I come home to every day and look at and check and make sure that it's doing fine. The leaves of this plant are so cool in how they grow. You can see here, this is one of the newer leaves and it's rather big, but when they grow out of the soil or from the stem, they're kind of just all furled up, and as they come out and grow their longer stem, they start unraveling and you see this beautiful shape. I know this plant was recently reclassified as not being a philodendron. I will probably always refer to this as a philodendron because that's what I knew it as when I bought it. I keep this Xanadu near a south-facing window. It's not right next to the window, but it's close. I do water this when I feel like the top 2 inches of the soil gets dry. I don't let this one fully dry out. This plant is and can be poisonous to pets. I know my cats have chewed on the leaves of this one, and usually plants that are poisonous to animals, they will leave alone because they don't taste good. They hurt their mouths. I've moved this guy higher so my cats can't get to it. There you have it. Those are my top 5 houseplants of 2018. But I also wanted to take a moment to recognize those plants that didn't do so well in 2018. Some of them I tried to rescue and failed. Some of them I just plain failed. May you forever rest in peace. Alright guys, that's it. Thanks for watching this video today. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also click that subscribe button if you have not done that yet. And as always, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Thanks for watching.